permanent secretaries, representative from UN Women, DFET, our workshop facilitators, members of the media organization, gender focal, policy focal officers. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Abula Vinak and a very, very good morning to you all. Indeed, it's a pleasure for me to be here this morning, to be part of such an exciting initiative that we are now going to undertake in terms of looking at gender equality. Thank you for being here with us this morning, and I hope that you will not only enjoy this workshop, but at the same time come on board with the ministry to ensure that the implementation of our gender policy is successful within your own organizations and ministries, as you being the gender policy focal officers. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a very exciting time as the issue of gender equality, violence against women and women's human rights takes center stage in Fiji. The conversations and public statements and debate around this issue is dominating the public discourse, and this is such a great time for change, and I thank you for being part of this change. These conversations, like the ones that will be held during the workshop, are part of the complex montage contributing to the implementation and of meaningful and lasting societal change. In the case of women and girls and children in our country, the outcome we are looking for is a society that is free from violence and full of opportunities and freedoms of choices for our young women. These discussions, forums, workshops, education and media commentary are all part and parcel of the public education process and part of a united movement towards a more compassionate and humanistic society. I think we only need to look at the fantastic progress and progressive partnerships we have achieved during our recent disaster response to see that we are making a difference to the protection and well-being of our women, girls and children. Ladies and gentlemen, we are also entering a period of unprecedented collaboration and cooperation between women's groups such as the Fiji Women's Rights Center, the Fiji Women's Rights Movement, FEMLING, Empower Pacific, and Medical Service Pacific, and of course with our development partners, including UN Women and DFED. And of course, I'm sure many others will come on board with us. I cannot, of course, forget the growing close relationships we are having with the police, the Commissioner of Police, and I speak regularly on these issues, and we are working together to improve our cooperation and services to crimes committed against children, women and girls. Under our MOU, we are forging a service delivery protocol and a regulated and a standardized trainings for all Fiji police on policing gender-based crimes. My staff are meeting with these groups almost on a weekly basis to establish new protocols and developing strategies to prevent crimes and attend to victim or survivors' needs. The women-friendly spaces set up after the cyclone illustrates another initiative that has brought our thinking towards how we can support women and the children in rural and remote communities. This initiative has been so successful that we are now looking at how we can sustain this outreach to those who need our services and support. It warms my heart to think of young women in Fiji seeing these changes happening before their eyes and becoming optimistic at the prospects for their participation in leadership and public life. I'm also very much heartened by our Prime Minister at the World Leaders Roundtable in Istanbul, Turkey last week, who made our government stand very, very clear. Our daily newspaper was blazed with the headlines that the world had praised our Prime Minister for his stance, which is endorsed by his government. The Prime Minister's speech was delivered at a high-level Leaders Roundtable, called Women and Girls, Catalyzing Action to Achieve Gender Equality and Code. His sentiments, ladies and gentlemen, echoes what our national gender policy is aiming to achieve, which is the elimination of violence against women, encouraging more women into leadership and decision-making, economic empowerment of women, and women's access to basic services. These strategies are interlinked with our efforts to implement the national gender policy. The policy approved by Cabinet in 2014 is already being embraced by ministries and departments, but the establishment of this network will further coordinate initiatives and resources to ensure we are linking into all areas. The national gender policy mandates all government agencies to evaluate policies and processes through gender lenses. It asks the government to recalibrate its priorities to focus on the issue of one that needs planning and, of course, resources. The policy is heavy on addressing the issue of zero tolerance of violence against women both in workplace and their communities. It insists, a gender policy insists on equity in process and building capacity of women to obtain employment and leadership roles in the workplace as well. It also calls for training and support for women to gain confidence and women to be empowered to make choices in the work they want to do. The policy also embraces our Fijian government's values with particular attention to shared parenting, caring for sick, elderly, and those who are living with disabilities. All workplaces need to make adjustments to allow men to participate equally in these roles as well. The creation of a high-level implementation focal points will enable the group or your group to share and discuss ideas and strategies for the implementation, as well as providing us with a mechanism to track the progress of our work. The work undertaken in our own agencies will include creating committees and coordinating the delivery of awareness materials and training, apart from the continuous implementation of the key action areas of the National Gender Policy. Ladies and gentlemen, each government agency will make this policy a priority and a very important part of the daily government business. In a meeting with the permanent secretaries earlier this month, these leaders used the National Gender Policy as a model for implementation. The National Gender Policy needs to be translated down to all ministries and department level, hence the reason why we are here this morning. Let me say this in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, gender equality is not just about women, but it is about recognizing equitable responses and fairness that recognizes the historical discrimination and disadvantage women have experienced. Gender is also not about how men can address harmful interpretations of masculinity that encourage or allow violent behavior. Actions that are part of our national gender policy challenges the traditional taboos and encourages men to become more active in family life. It also encourages their partner to have a fulfilling life with the same choices and freedom that men have enjoyed simply because they were born men. Ladies and gentlemen, the signs are very positive. And the positive signs are here. We are ready to shake off the harmful and the dusty old mindsets. There is a tide of support for the gender equality. The signs are telling us time is right for Fiji in 2016. I'm looking forward to hearing the results of your workshop. I know it will generate new ideas, plans, strong leadership for all the ministries in a whole of government approach in response to gender equality. On that note, please allow me to thank everyone who has been involved and everyone who's been involved in organizing this. And now you're aware that the parliament session is going on. I wouldn't take much of your time, but I have much pleasure in officially declaring our National Gender Policy Focal Officers Workshop open. Please enjoy the session and God bless you. Thank you.